it won't work here. Going up against Team USA themselves. It's Team Rogue, who actually played quite a bit in Stage 1, failed to qualify, including one upset, pretty big upset that was thrown against them by a CL team, if I remember correctly.
Our bad.
Yeah, our bad. So
it was their bad indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Huge bad for them. Also, we'll have to see if Rogue are able to rebound. They were looking pretty good a few weeks ago at the minor. Mm-hmm. So we would hope that would carry over into the USN results. But the roster doesn't need much of an introduction. You guys should know them. You should love them by now. Slash, Easily, Vertical, Eclipse, and Shuttle.
Yeah, again, some household names have been around for a very, very long time, and they're actually just coming off of you named it, tie with SSG yesterday, as they are going to be the next investor, as you guys saw from the org's tweet, which was fantastic. And next up, we're going to have !claimcharm. Again, does not work in chat.
I love the font.
Yeah, let me tell you.
Put a lot of effort in that.
What a great JPEG. Anyways, Execration, Rudy, Breezy, Schlongy, and Billboard. A lot of these names you guys should know. Execration from prior 92 Dream Team, Billboard from Hat, Schlongy from Beast Closed / EXG. Breezy's been around the comp scene for a very long time, and same with Rudy. So, again, some household names that you should know if you play inside of NA.
Yeah. Billboard and Breezy, I think we got them on stream a few times back in Stage 1 as well, or at least Billboard I know for sure. Breezy might have been on there once or twice as well. So they should be familiar if you were with us here for Stage number 1. But as is the nature of the USN, with the Cups restarting every single week, sometimes these rosters slip up a little bit, and this is going to be one of them that ended up changing a bit in between the stages since we had about a month break. So we're back now. claimcharm is going to be stepping up to the plate here against Rogue, who already failed once to requalify back in Stage 1 into our LAN finals, and they're going to be trying once again here in Stage 2 by trying to get an early spot in the conference finals by making it through the open bracket this week.
This is going to be the best part of the VOD when I go back and watch it and see how many people got banned for spamming this. It's going to be great. Mods, get your swords ready. Here we go. So it's going to be a hell of a ride here for the next hour. So
it's going to be a bit rough in the chat. Swipe that thing over. Just click it aside.
We're gonna put that away and go back in your closet. It's over. It's done.
I don't need to see you right now.
No.
But once again, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get the map veto on screen in just a moment as well and see where exactly this series is going to be headed. We were seeing, especially in some of the other leagues, a lot of play with cafes since, again, a bit of an update if you aren't keeping up to date with the rules and whatnot that change between the seasons. Cafe has been brought back into the pool, its new version, which quite a few of the teams are liking. We've seen it picked quite a bit, actually. So we're going to see that play come in. And Oregon, the much hated map among the pro community, or more divisive, I guess you could say.
It's pretty divided.
Yeah.
You have teams that absolutely love it, and then you have teams that hate it to no end. So, I mean, it really just depends on who you're talking about. Like Dark Zero loves Oregon, whereas, SSG is like, no.
Yeah, not as much for those guys.
Yeah.
When it comes to the players from Rogue, specifically back in Stage 1, we were seeing a whole lot of border play from them, so they're probably going to still want to play into that. As far as I can recall with the stats, it still remains their favorite map to play on, and their best map as well in terms of the outcomes on it. They were pretty comfortable jumping onto quite a few of the other maps, so as you might expect for a team of this caliber that's been around for this long, though, they've got a pretty deep map pool by this point, so not going to be too shy about jumping onto any of those other maps too, notably like Coastline and whatnot, which they had some comfortable games. They played against Rec on it back in Stage 1. Actually lost that one, however. That was how they failed to make it into the conference playoffs the first time. But we've got the veto ready to go now, so let's take a look and see where we're going to end up at.
Consulate. Hey!
You did it again.
I did it again.
Didn't even have to go on screen this time.
I'm a wizard. Wizard, Harry.
So we'll just get all those bans out of the way real quick. It's going to be Consulate, folks. We're jumping on to still no Cafe here in the USN side of things. We've had a little bit of it throughout some of the other matches that were played yesterday on Pro League, but it's not going to pop up, at least not yet, here on the USN. Sticking with the old map still.
Yeah, couple of things to cover real quick if you guys are just joining us, because I know a lot of team fan bases obviously come and go as their teams come and go on stream. So Lion now in play, so is Mozzie and Gridlock. So capable of having some new faces around the block, or some old faces that people still have PTSD from. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. We did not see him the last match due to the fact that Lion was banned out from 92 Dream Team, but we could see him in this following match.
Well, we can take a look at the vote from you guys at home, see where exactly you thought this matchup was going to go, and big surprise again. Rogue has the penultimate advantage in this one for both our predictions and the fans' predictions at home, as they take a 71% edge over the 29% for the folks from claimcharm. Still, some very recognizable names and names that have been around for a good amount of time, even if you go back a few years on claimcharm. So there's a lot of experience in this roster. You don't want to underestimate them. And here we go, heading into Consulate for our second matchup of the day. Rogue or claimcharm will be moving on to face off against 92 Dream Team in the next matchup to close out the day. Let's get into the bands and see where this is going to go. Rogue also, by the way, testing things out when it comes to the maps. Consulate, a map that at the moment they don't have any play on in recent history. So they're also going to be trying this out here. And big surprise.
Go back to your cage, buddy.
Lion right back in the quarantine zone.
Yep. Good thing you have that mask. There you go. Anyways. Next band going to be coming up for Rogue, and I'm going to assume it's going to be Blackbeard. Actually, no, it's going to be Capital. Again, not a very bad band. Capital helps out quite a bit, especially with Yellow Stairs takes when they are holding down console office, because he is, especially since that bloom has gotten larger with his buff, very powerful. So, and the second LMG is going to be deleted from the game, at least for this time. So no more M249 except for in the hands of Gridlock, and we're going to have no more M24, or excuse me, we're going to have no more Alda on the defense. So all those are going to be removed. Again, it's personal preference as to whether you remove Echo or Maestro for your personal teams.
It's been...
I would say Echo is the best choice. Well, actually, excuse me, I would say Maestro is the best choice, but when you have both of them gone, it makes things a lot easier. Consulate, Mira's not really that good comparative. She's great. She's a great operator. She can really work on any site, but Consulate is one of her worst maps. Just because there's not really a place where she can really play safe on any place that has a massive impact. You know, on a lot of maps, you can place her to where she has a massive impact over one of the sites, you know. On this one, you know, Garage, she can kind of oversee Yellow Stairs, and she can try and stop a plant if it's on, like, Black Car downstairs or something like that. We've seen her used upstairs by G2 on the bathroom, holding down Yellow Stairs, which is kind of a peculiar thing, but we don't see that too often anymore. But with Maestro and Echo off the board, you're going to have to go to other pastures to try and get some utility basage for information. And we are going to have our first Mozzie of the day.
And Gridlock.
Yeah, and Gridlock.
Both in the same round. We didn't have any in the last map at all, and then we get them both on the first round of the second map.
Say it with me, chat. Ozzy, Ozzy, Ozzy.
Oi, oi, oi!
There we go. I love you, Blue. Anyways.
Do a shoey for the folks at home.
There you go. Anyways. We are definitely going to have our Vegemite on the board for this round, as we are going to continue down the line of Australian-related memes, but despite that fact, we will tell you what these guys do real quick if you guys just watch and do not play the game, because we definitely know that you people exist. We love you, despite that fact anyways. So, first up, we're going to have Gridlock, which she has track stingers, which are basically a disc that she throws on the ground that can spawn up to 14 or 15, I remember the number correctly off the top of my head. Other discs on the ground that have spikes on them that deal damage as well as slow targets that walk across them. Very good for anti-roam, able to shut down sites as well as flanks pretty easily, and she has 3 of those. So she can definitely literal room with those, which is very, very dangerous. And then the other hand of things, on the defense, we have Mozzie, which if you have arachnophobia, you're not going to like this too much. He has robotic spiders that actually grip onto drones and take control of them, as well as he's got some pretty good utility as well, and some nice guns. So probably one of my favorite additions to the defense in recent memory, and especially just because he has a nitro cell. I like to make people explode. It's a lot of fun.
Mozzie's definitely like the most interesting, I think, out of those two operators, just because of the potential for info play the game-changing play that can come up from that. It's something we haven't had to see before. Things are gonna get started though. Rogue picks up the first kill by getting some picks on Repel here. It's actually going to knock out Smoke of all operators too, which is, it's not good for late round play here on claimcharm's side to lose Smoke right at the start of the round.
And which traditionally Bill plays pretty slow, so I'm actually pretty shocked by the fact that he's already dead in under a minute, because usually he's one of the last people alive. He's seldom the person that dies immediately. And speaking of which, Rudy will get the refrag eventually onto Vertical. That's going to be the Thatcher, so massive amounts of utility gone from both ends, but Thatcher not really needed on this site in particular. They do have Thermite here, which is actually more damaging than it is going to help Rogue. They are going to be able to establish that angle above admin stairs, but trying to get the back of projector open from Flag Hallway is going to be a very, very difficult thing. Breezy, though, the next kill is going to be it's going to be from the main door inside of lobby. So Rogue more or less falling apart, not really working refrags too well, and Breezy's literally just waiting for someone to possibly put their face into this front door. And it appears that Slashhook might take him up on that.
Yeah, Clips and Shuttle still on the inside of the building right now, playing, I think, towards admin side, or Visa stairs, waiting for their teammate to rejoin them as Slash had to go back, get the diffuser back into his hands, and, of course, rotate in for this push. They try to get a quick drone up on top of the A-bomb, and they'll be able to place that there, giving them a good amount of intel for Execute. Execute's going to be a real problem, though, in the 3v4 here. They actually haven't gotten a whole lot of control beyond admin stairs just yet. You can see the first of those track stingers going onto the ground to try and limit any rotator aggressive pushes from the A site. They're not too keen on that. We can see in Charm, they try to get a little bit more aggressive, and it works. Longy moves in to pick up Shuttle, but Slash trades that back right against him. Still about 2v3, 30 seconds left. Rogue do need to start making some forward progress into the site. Claim Charm, you know, if this goes on any longer, they're just going to sit back, relax, and wait for the timer to tick down.
Yeah, much angle holding going on for Rogue and not much aggression. It's all going to be up to Slashug as he's trying to find the angle on Connector. He'll eventually find him, claims the kill, but it might be too little too late. Actually, no, it's going to be all left up to Execration as he will get knocked down from that air jab. Going to get right out from Eclipse. And this is actually kind of a dynamic duo here between Gridlock and those air jab. Super Shorty going to get selected here for Eclipse as a secondary weapon. Definitely can remove that health from his body. That's exactly what's going to happen.
It's very fitting we got the Mozzie and Gridlock 1v1 at the end of the round, too, right? First round, we see them playing USN, and they can fight each other at the end of it.
Don't trust anyone.
It even fits Ubisoft's lore that like Gridlock's gonna mess with Mozzie at the end of it, too. So the artistic people at Ubisoft are like, yes, we got it. We got the clip.
Got it. Clip's gonna be everywhere now just because of that. Thanks, Blue. Marketing schemes by Ubisoft. Anyways.
So good recovery by Rogue, you know, all things considered.
You got to put that more on Claim Charm for failing that, to be completely honest. You know that they have to try and battle out of that, and to not have any vision on Flag Hallway is definitely an issue. So, despite that fact, I think that you might need to adjust a couple of your black eye cams for Valkyrie to try and help you out with that. They are going to have vertical on IQ now, so they can try and get rid of those, but proper placement with those, especially like under the bench or something like that inside a Flag Hallway where they actually have to move up in the hallway to shoot it, are going to work out really, really well. So we'll have to see exactly what the adjustment's going to be from claimcharm. Had a really, really good start to the round, but just could not find their footing, especially after Rogue started to get aggressive, or at least Slashug did. Their post 30 seconds. So, because they were all the way down to, I believe it was 17 seconds when he got that frag on the man and connector. So
they also, an important note too, we didn't touch on here in the post round, you know, losing Bellborg right at the start to a window peak in A didn't help their case either. It didn't, if you know, imagine playing that final like 4v2 with the smoke in check. They wouldn't have had to take as many of those aim duels down, you know, main hallway, and all those cross angles they had into A wouldn't have needed to be established. They would have just been able to toss the Toxic Babes in, hold those two players out, and probably win the round on timer. So another adjustment that could have easily been fixed for Claim Charm, but at the same time, seems like Billboard kind of got picked in an unlucky situation, like, yeah, they just stood up at the wrong timing or whatnot like this. I don't want to pin it on him too much.
The air jab from across the world here to start the round for Rogue, but
second one too.
Yeah. Quite a few windows you can hop out in front of this building. So, as most of you do know, but again, going to be same site selected here for Claim Charm. So we'll have to see what the adjustment's going to be. Again, I believe it's going to be more in the information game because, as you guys can see, Rudy is no longer going to be on his prior operator. He's now going to be on Pulse. So now that cardiac sensor, and Pulse, especially on this map, very dangerous as he can actually use that cardiac sensor to all 3 floors. He's actually going to be playing upstairs, which is interesting to see. Traditionally, he is downstairs, all the way downstairs, because he can gather information from any floor in this game of all of the floors. Not the roof, that's a little bit too far out of reach, but despite that, he can gather information on admin, on tellers, literally anywhere else.
I think they're trying to play aggressively in the yellow stairs because both of the walls are soft. But here's the problem, though. Yeah, I was worried about this. Vert, he's got pretty much a hard lock onto the position for Pulse right now, and Pulse does not have a clean way to get out of B anymore because you've now got Eclipse on window. So he's kind of stuck, and he cannot use his heartbeat sensor. Because if he does, IQ's going to see him. There's the drone to spot him, even though it got killed. They definitely know he's in the corner. And there you are. Actually, it's Slash. It's going to end up going down instead on the attack here. Thought for sure they were going to be able to kill easily at the start of this round.
Yeah, actually, Rudy going to be able to call the information downstairs. He saw that man piano, was able to call that out. So Claim Charm able to make the adjustment and get Slash away, able to save the life of their teammate and comrade. So Show going to take a little bit of Toxic Babe damage. And again, it appears that Rogue just doesn't know exactly what they want. You know, like most people's girlfriends, so we will see if they're able to claim any more map control. Right now, just holding angles on site. See if anybody won't make a fatal error here, but not just yet for claimcharm, as they are just going to bide their time and allow Rogue to just sit and spin in the wind. So,
Shuttle looking for one pickup here, but at the same time, claimcharm holding back. Done a good job of adjusting. You know, they're not taking any of these duels that were unnecessary, which is kind of how they lost the last round. Also, having Smoke Alive certainly helps their case here. They're going to be working their way in. Bit of an interesting situation there with claimcharm working their way back in, but again, Rogue's somehow trading it back. They've kept it even into a 2v2. They don't have a clean way to get this diffuser onto the ground. Easily going to have to force the issue, and this means that Shuttle's got to go for a wide peek. Is found the first and second pickups, though. Shuttle, the 1v2 from him at the yellow stairs, finds the second round for Rogue.
it just seems to be it's all or nothing here post 30 seconds. You know,
pretty much.
Once they get down to that, it's like, guys, we actually have to get on site. And they're like, oh, okay. And they just try and force the opposition. Ends up working out for them very, very well. But again, I would like to see a little bit more map presence. Maybe just an adjustment. We don't really see anyone, especially Vert. You know, usually we see Vert being the man with the plan that usually makes the adjustment to try and gather other lands, you know what I mean? Try and rotate up Spiral or something along those lines, trying to get a little bit more aggressive in other angles to try and throw them off. We haven't seen that just yet. It's been a lot of, okay, we have our initial room, we're just gonna play ACOG angles until somebody crosses. And so far, it's more or less worked out for them. Again, it's a flip of a coin, basically, on these last two rounds, whether it goes claimcharm's way or Rogue's way. But right now, Rogue in the lead 2-0, so I mean, I guess you really can't knock it until they lose.
claimcharm aren't going to be sticking around upstairs though to try it a third time. They'll finally rotate sites and work their way into the basement now, which again we've seen quite a bit of play on this. So still following the usual trend of sites. If you're newer to Siege and wondering how that generally works, we're still kind of on track. This is usually what you expect from a defending team. It's very rare that they go beyond 2 or 3 attempts on the same site. You're getting a bit into the crazy point at that point when you're using over half the rounds you have on a single site, which still may not yield results for you in the long run.
Well, you say that, but we just got out of an event where we saw someone attempt the same site 5 times on the same defensive side.
Yep.
So
Empire did that once too. Yeah. Get their first LAN actually back at DreamHack Winter last year.
Death by 1,000 cuts. We will continue to do this until we get victory. That does sound like Empire, though. It's like, eh.
It was like Aviation Games on Villa. I think it was against Penta, if I remember correctly.
Because why not? You know?
I don't remember their opponent in like the exact matchup, but they did literally play like Aviation Games 5 times in a row for some ridiculous reason, and it like wasn't even close. they were just getting drilled, and
it happens.
Like, no, do it again.
Yeah.
All right, let's focus back on this game here, as we've got Rogue starting their push inside of Visa first. And again, it's Eclipse leading the charge. Be a little careful doing that with Gridlocks. If I remember correctly, I think she has the biggest hitbox in the game out of any other operator right now. So.
Yes, she does, actually. Thick with 2 Cs indeed,
So she's gonna Trax off the top stairs. We need to come up with a word for this, by the way, for when the Trax is. Are we gonna call it? Does she Trax that spot? Does she block it?
You really can't say Trax because are you talking about Jackal?
Yeah.
Is this the 3-armor Jackal?
Right, so Trax is out from
Trax
the
is
vernacular. We need to confer with the Pro League casters on this one.
Oh, the sting of the feet. This Eclipse is gonna sting the staircase. Yeah, that works. We'll go with that. She will drop a sting. Buzz, possibly. Okay, anyways.
Sting the stairs.
Sting the stairs. I like that.
Sting the floor.
Yeah, it rolls off the tongue very well. So, speaking of rolling off the tongue, Breezy's going to try and take a gunfight through the floor. Those angles do work both ways, as he will make it known. For easily, quite a bit of his health is going to be removed, as you will hear the telltale sign. And one of those exothermic charges going off in the distance. That's going to be the bathroom hatch. Rogue is going to be beginning take those vertical angles that we all know so well. And this is something that those Stingers accomplish very well, is that you have to shoot them. They all are only 1 bullet of health, but when you're spraying an entire flock of them.
Basically when you have to use like a whole magazine to clear it.
you're definitely going to be known, you know, especially when you're that close to site. But the beauty of Consulate is that there's plenty of staircases. Oh, no! Exetration's going to walk right into it. But speaking of it walking right into things, Shuttle, actually, no, it's going to be Rudy will walk right in and tries to tack on, but no, Schlongy with the double kill instead, as he has finally made his presence known. Eclipse, only one left inside, as Slashug as well as the Thermite have easily went to find other pastures currently. Things equalized so far, but again, this timer has been eating Rogue alive, and they have to try and make something happen. Eclipse full health and at 3 armor is going to be able to take quite a few shots, but again, it does only take 1 bullet to the head to try and stay alive here. He is going to find a man on yellow pillar. Slashug will find yet another as well. It's only Schlongy upstairs. All he has to do is try and stop this diffuser. They have the information. He hears him planting, but he can't get the angle. He can't find him. Oh no, this diffuser's gonna go down. Schlongy in a 1 versus 3. Not very much health either. He's done so much this round. He's gonna have to try and work his way down Spiral. More than likely not gonna win this gunfight against Eclipse. And no, long distance gunfight ACOG, and it's just not gonna work out for him. So Rogue, again, off the back of a 17-second execution, gets diffuser down, wins yet another round.
Bizarre that they're still able to pick up these rounds. Great stuff from Rogue. Certainly shows the experience more than anything to keep such a calm head under such crazy situations for 3 consecutive rounds in a row. But claimcharm, not feeling that round right there. They're going to rotate right back upstairs and try this again.
This is one of those moments when you look back at what you banned and you go, okay, we started defense. Why did we ban Maestro?
Yeah, really.
Really? That would really help them out a lot right now. Being able to have site presence and not have to put your face anywhere be great. So, I feel like they're lacking in the Department of Information on site. I feel like that's what's punishing them right now, or just rooms directly off of site.
It's either that or like comms aren't that great for claimcharm right now, because again, I think it's a safe assumption that the roster hasn't necessarily been together for that long. So I think comms might be an issue as well. Like things aren't getting called as much, or it's too chaotic for these guys to actually pick it apart. Whereas Rogue, obviously, this roster's been together for months now.
Months?
Well,
it's been almost a year, man.
Yeah. It's still months,
they picked up Vertical right before LAN for USN.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's almost the 1-year anniversary of Rogue, guys.
Still right. That's still months.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Just a lot of them.
Just quite a few of them. But yeah, obviously since Rogue have been together for a while,
a congregation of months.
the combat aspect of things is not going to be a problem at all for such a well-drilled team, and I think that's why they're thriving in the chaos of these low-timed executes so much.
I mean, you can still see the skill of claimcharm though, because when Rogue is trying to pull what a lot of these experienced teams do, and it's just, okay, we have our established angles, that's all that we really need. We're just going to wait for the younger team or the more inexperienced team to make the error. That's all we need. We just need the opening. That's it. And so far, claimcharm's been doing a damn good job of not giving it to them. But their issue is they can't shut Rogue down when it's all or nothing. And they need to try and find that, especially right now. This is where you can try and make this 3-3, make things equalized, and then on the offensive side, you can try and flip the script and bring it to Rogue. That's the one thing that we've talked about. We even talked about it in the last game. I mean, defense is a lot of times easier for teams that haven't been together a lot longer. It's easier to coordinate. Yeah. So we'll see if they find any success on this round, because so far it appears that Rogue is going to be following the exact same script and, okay, we're going to establish angles, and we're going to wait and see if claimcharm will possibly give us a freebie, and if they don't, then we're just going to full send it and see what happens. Oh, man. Good night, Rudy. We'll see you in the next round, my friend. Vertical with that frag.
Rudy given a long time to pick up that kill, too, so fortunate that he gets caught by main desk there. Ends up going down. For the rest of the team, see some of those track slingers being deployed in yellow stairs to prevent any quick rotates. The double coming out from Breezy. Nicely done. He's got a tiny little spot to chuck that into yellow stairs, and he thrives in it. Picks up both the Nomad and the Thatcher.
So what some teams use to impact Trick Bathroom, Breezy uses to claim 2 lives. And if that isn't poetic justice, I don't know what is. So, Slashug going to be able to identify out exactly where that came from, and more than likely where Breezy's going to be at. Actually, I don't believe that he exactly knows. We'll rotate his way up onto roof as he is going to quit his rappel, and Eclipse is going to rotate a drone inside. This will be a perfect time for Breezy to rotate out, but I don't think that he's going to do so, especially since you are going to have Eclipse over here on the west windows on the console office. Don't exactly want to cross across middle office and get punished from that angle.
See Rogue again still hunting for that trade to give them an initiation right to get back into the site right now, but just not finding it. Eclipse specifically doing a lot of hunting by the main office window. Just not coming up with anything again. claimcharm's been doing a really good job of denying any of these easy picks from the outside of the building, so it's going to have to be them to make the first move. Yeah, track stingers were still available, however, so because of the fact they're not playing anyone inside of the B side right now, that's probably going to fully deploy and cause a lot of issues for claimcharm in a retake situation if they're able to get that fuse in the ground. But that's the thing. Again, low time situation for Rogue here. They've had to go every single round with one of these, but again, they're being given the tools. Slash, a 2-for-1 trade. Billboard trades back, but here's the problem. Diffuser, can they get it back in time? No, they're gonna try to chase down the kill, and it's not gonna work out. claimcharm finally picks up a round on number 4 here by running it out on the timer.
Yeah, blew that C4 a little bit premature, but gonna work out for him anyways. Possible scare tactic, but didn't work out for him. I will say this. It's very, very frustrating, and you probably know what I'm going to talk about, but Rogue seems like it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back. We just got off of a LAN with them.
They looked really good.
They looked really, really good. Their executions were precise. Everything was right as rain. Right now, they're just waiting too much, and they're not forcing the opposition. They've gotten the opening pick quite often, and they do nothing with it. Nothing with it at all. Again, it comes down to these last-second executions. They had that frag on Pulse in the first minute, and we waited till 15 seconds to try and make something happen. You already lost all of that praise that you had, and you guys stalled out on yellow stairs. You stopped. Once that toxic smoke went off, you guys were like, okay, we gotta hold on for just a second. Hold on. C4 comes out, kills 2 of your teammates, and you go, okay, well, now what? Okay, I guess we're just gonna sit on west windows here and wait for something to happen. You are the offense. It's in the name. Be offensive. Get aggressive. Try and force the opposition, man. Come on.
So we're going to be taken into the next round here. claimcharm's going to change things up a little bit. They're actually going to go for the piano lobby defense here for one of their final rounds on the side. So we'll see if the change up to a more open site ends up working out for them. I'm actually a bit doubtful on that because I think, again, Rogue's going to kind of thrive on this, but Rogue's also going to have to play like multi-tier on this one, which they haven't really had to do too much of yet, since claimcharm's been playing a pretty centered defense, but you can't do that on this site. You do need to spread things out a little bit more, playing upstairs as well. So we'll see, because this is a bit different than what we've been playing up to this point.
All right, well, this is going to be the second to last round for the offensive set of Rogue. Again, 3-1 if you guys are just joining us. claimcharm, joined by quite a few names, or household names inside of North America that we see quite often on different teams. And I'm sure once the scoreboard does come up, you guys will be able to identify them out if you are a fan of North America as much as I am. So, oh man, again, early frag here for Rogue. Now, this is where you want to see them get aggressive. You want to see them try and claim as much map control up to a point. You don't want to see them overextend themselves, but they need to get control of these upstairs offices, at least up to vending. That's where you want to be at. You want to claim this initial area, because if you allow too much time, they're going to be able to make the adjustment. That's that adjustment period that you don't want to allow.
See Eclipse is dealing with some of the basic downstairs cameras on the super shorty there, opening up avenue for the rest of the team to move in and clear this out now. So priority on the upstairs take in order to flush claimcharm back down into primarily piano and yellow stairs, and then work it from there.
Again.
Breezy, yeah, being allowed to do what he does downstairs. He's going to be able to trade this back on the mute though, taking out Shuttle. We go right back down into a 4v4. Rogue losing the only advantage they had up until this point. Added control, it's great. It doesn't really give them anything though, considering where the site is.
Yeah, especially with their Nomad down, no more air jabs. Almost saved his life downstairs, but it's not going to matter. Schlongy's been quite of a factor so far for claimcharm, and it's quite a few kills, but again, they've only been gifted 1 round so far. Those stingers putting a lot of work here in the hands of Eclipse, and actually done pretty well so far. I really like this for roam denial, especially on this map. I will say this. I really like this Nomad gridlock combo. It's very dangerous. And speaking of dangerous, Eclipse, literally on his last breath right here, has 1 more set of stingers. He's going to toss those directly into sight. I don't know if those can get shot out of the air by the ADS. I have not played gridlock enough to know that.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I don't think it's registered as a projectile. I'm sure the Twitch chat will correct me on that, or someone will post a Reddit thread, of course, calling me an idiot, but that's fine.
Yeah, if everybody's just spamming wrong right now, then we're wrong, obviously.
Wrong.
detected a bomb.
The other thing I noticed too with the track stingers, I feel like they make a really good mask for executes because of how loud they are when they start spreading.
They're a similar noise level to EMPs. A lot of people, when it comes down to trying to just making a quick play with Thatcher, they will just dedicate an EMP to the floor because that loud burst masks your footsteps. So, very interesting thing to see. But again, we're going to have Rogue fall under this 15-second margin and just try and get aggressive, make something happen here. But it's going to be all up to Easily and Eclipse. Eclipse, again, on his last limb here, as he's going to open up the top hatch, but it's going to be all left up to him as Rudy will be able to take down both of them with some very well-placed mouse control. A little bit of a headshot fiesta here for claimcharm as they're going to bring it back one step closer to tying things up here in the first half.
So, it took him a few rounds, but claimcharm have finally figured out how to deal with these low-timed executes, especially on some of the off-sites that we don't normally play into. The key for them really is just avoid second floor, because Rogue is really good at executing low-time there, except for the one round that was won by claimcharm on it. Now that they've been able to shift it, I actually wouldn't think it would have been too crazy if they ended up going to split site for the final round, just to throw Rogue off once again and maybe kind of play the round similarly, but at the same time, split site is one that I think we only recently started seeing a bit more play on. Specifically at the minor, teams were going crazy on it. Like Chaos played it like 5 or 6 times. So it's not too surprising that we still see teams sticking to the normal routes and claimcharm just heading into the basement one more time.
All right, we'll see if maybe they try to bring the heat to Rogue, because I feel like that will be the blow that they need to try and deliver. You know, I feel like Rogue does not deal well with aggression. They've been that way for a very long time. And if claimcharm is able to more or less adopt that mantle that a lot of teams have, especially with, you know, Rogue losing the last 2 USN games to try and qualify, to teams that adopted that. I mean, especially Arbad. They had Carnage, and Carnage was going absolute haywire, just trying to delete as many people off of Rogue as possible, and it worked. They do not play well against aggressive play styles, and if claimcharm is able to adopt that, especially on their offensive side, this is not going to look good for Rogue.
Well, let's see if Rogue can at least get the advantage solidified at 4-2 out of halftime here, or if it's going to be claimcharm to really bring it back. It's, again, that low time to execute. Rogue are getting early map control, but they're having a lot of trouble blooming it out from that point forward and getting the kind of critical mass they need in order to attack the site. Once again, same thing. They find the early pick, no problem at all, and it's also Eclipse that gets it once again. He's doing a fantastic job on Gridlock. Yeah, onto the same person. Of finding that opening pick almost every single round here on the attack.
Very interested that he's adopted the AUG instead of the M249, because a lot of people love that gun and love that new scope. As you guys can tell with the Capital play that we've seen a lot of recently because of his buff, is that scope has been put on that weapon, so Capital also has access to it, and Eclipse, yet again, will find secondary frag, so...
Faster, I think it's got a slightly faster reload on Gridlock's version too, compared to Capital's, because Capital has to reload the whole box.
Really?
Yeah, she just has like a magazine, so I don't know the exact timing of it, but it does seem shorter on her. From my experience, anyway.
A little bit of theory crafting, things to test.
Someone has
That's why I love new operators, because you always find out something really, really cool. So
if someone does know that, they want to let us know, please do that, because I'm actually curious. Since I haven't fully tested that, I'm just going off of kind of anecdotal experience right now. Oh, the timing on breaking the door open sucks so much for Billboard. Nothing you can do about that, unfortunately. Slash is going to take him down. And this is looking a lot cleaner now all of a sudden for Rogue, but they did also just lose Slash, so there's still a potential for this to get flipped around still.
Yeah, but again, here's the thing. I want you guys to look through the walls real quick. No one is moving. There's not a single blue silhouette that is moving right now. There's a minute 16. It's 4 versus 2. You can play the trade game. Granted, yes, information is fantastic. And post-droning right now will be great. Trying to identify out exactly where these people are. But this is where you want to see things get aggressive from this offense. There's only 2 people alive. Nitro's not going to come out. It will claim the life of Easily. So that means no more thermite, but he already got his hatch open. His job has been done. Utility already has been burnt. They got what they wanted. So, bringing it a little bit closer for claimcharm, but again, this is where things get hairy, is when you allow that time for adjustments from the defense or offense when you're man up.
Now for some smooth jazz. But we've got Eclipse making his push out from the archives as well. Sorry, this is really well timed. A shuttle is going to make his way downstairs to join up with Eclipse. We've got less than 30 seconds left on the clock here now for Rogue, so same problem.
They're going to lose this round.
Yeah, low timing. They've got a man advantage this time, too.
Oh.
Oh,
okay.
You jinxed it.
Yeah. That was kind of the point, not going to lie to you.
Well, that's not fair.
I'm just saying.
You're not supposed to use your jinx.
No! Oh, Breezy, that's a diffuser. Don't do it. Don't do it to him. Oh, don't do it to him. Just hide.
That's it. He's got
Just
it.
hide,
There's
Breezy.
no way he's going to make his way through cafeteria.
Oh, and he's going to lose.
What?
Breezy. Breezy, I hate to do you like this, buddy, but open your ears. The man was full sprint through kitchen.
Really got to win those.
Yeah, you hate to see it. You really do, but 4-2 split here as claimcharm will now go on offense. Oh, no.
Well, Rogue's going to thrive in that, of course. Like you said, they'll take the 4-2 lead. We'll switch sides. claimcharm now into the attack. So close, though. claimcharm, again, really got to give them credit. They're putting up a good fight. Definitely trying to capitalize on these mistakes that are being made from Rogue as a result of all these low-timed executes they've had to go for on literally every single round on their attack. But now they take the defense, and things should get a little bit easier to control from this point forward.
The issue that he had there is that he left Gridlock alive. That's the real issue, because he was able to call him out off of his body. So, again, when someone is downed, they might not have a gun, but they definitely have eyeballs. So,
And a mouth.
yeah, and a mouth. Yeah, definitely. This is not MW2 Search and Destroy. So once he's, you can still talk to your teammates, So, again, it's split-second decision making. It's just, when it comes down to something that small, in comparison, it is very, very difficult. And again, it came down to margins of a second in order to win that round for Rogue. But again, they did win the round, and a lot of their rounds that they did win, or actually all of them, did come down to margins of a second. Yep. So I guess that's just the way that Rogue wants to roll right now. I mean, they are kind of doing as their namesake says.
We had our round breakdown up on the screen a second ago. The first 3 rounds that Rogue won, I think like all 3 of those, or at least 2 out of 3 of them, were with a diffuser on the ground and a second player getting the last kill as it was being planted. And that's the only reason we don't see that round closed out by objective, really, instead of kills we saw in those cases. So Rogue definitely pushing the envelope on the executes of their timing, but it's enough to give them the lead at halftime. Now we see if they can do a little bit better on defense here. And claimcharm, it's going to be their first test on the attack. Obviously going for admin control to start things out as we would normally expect with an upstairs take. That's the usual go-to for teams. And Execration is going to be able to move after they've spent a good amount of time journeying this out. Their Buck is also going to be able to move in and take control. Now starts the push, the long, long push across the building from the upstairs.
Well, we will see them adopt the Habana, which we did not see Rogue grasp, which, again, for this site in particular, fantastic. It's exactly what you want to try and take over Projector, because you don't want to have Thermite have to run into Flag Hallway and manually put the exothermic charge on the wall. That is not something you want to have happen, because obviously it's pretty easy to peek Flag Hallway and claim that life. We are going to have Rudy on Buck as well, which actually kind of surprising. We usually see Schlongy rocking that, but some rounds not going to be him. Schlongy is going to be on that Thatcher. Easily, though, we'll actually take out Breezy, as we are going to see him fall from his post on the window. And that means no more Nomad, but those air jabs have already been dedicated to their respective locations, so no hop outs from Rogue, which, again, really, why would we expect that? Grenade going to come over the wall, but doesn't seem like it's going to do too much, and actually is going to do no damage to the defense of Rogue. And see, this is more or less the playstyle that they want to adapt for defense. This is exactly what they've been doing on offense, and that's what you can see right now, holding these long angles, trying to get the offense to force their way onto site and punish them for doing so.
Managed to force out at least one toxic gas grenade relatively early on in the round here. As a fact, he's only got 1 left, so claimcharm are doing a pretty good job of forcing out the defender's utility and at least leaving themselves enough time to go for the attack. They just haven't really found the capability to
oh my
kills.
God.
Yeah, the angles Rogue have against claimcharm right now. It's way too much control going back into the defender's favor. Rudy, though, is going to start to change that back by finding vertical shuttle. Also picked up a few seconds later, but Slash finds the trait, keeps Rogue in control at a 3v2.
As long as Easy get alive, this is going to be held down inside of Maiden. Has 1 more Toxic Babe, and he has Diffuser as well, so Toxic Babe does last for 10 seconds, as he is going to make an adjustment from behind the table, as Execration is going to get aggressive up Spiral. Slash still playing the top of yellow as well, so they have all of their boxes checked, as quite a bit of damage is going to be dealt. Slash going to try and take that long-distance gunfight. Lands a couple bullets, but nothing fatal just yet. Easily, M590 up close. Definitely deals quite a bit of damage. Gonna miss that first shot. Will he miss the second? No, he will not, and that will be Execration going down. And Rogue continuing their reign over this Consulate game.
Another round picked up by Rogue, the first of their defensive half on the very first round So a good start for them to try and run right up to 7. They're already getting very, very close to that. Just 2 more rounds and Rogue have controlled this map, and we'll move on to face off against 92 Dream Team in our final match of the day. We're going to transition over to lobby, in fact, instead of going to the basement, which is aligning with what we saw from Rogue back at the minor relatively recently. A lot of teams, actually, that played at the minor choosing to, instead of going for the usual, straight to the basement play after winning second floor, they've been okay to shift over to either lobby or even the split site, which we barely have actually seen play on that over the past few months.
Yeah, we've actually seen some very strange instances on this map, especially from some of our EU teams. We saw Chaos go lobby, split, and then basement. No play upstairs ever.
The minor was a really interesting event. For
it really was.
For Consulate play, because we had a lot of Consulate and a lot of different ways to play it from different teams, so it was pretty cool to watch that.
Yeah, it's always awesome when people bring new ideas to maps. It's great. I love it. Well, I mean, I love it. I just get to sit here and nerd out. It's fantastic. It's great. So, Breezy put in a lot of work for claimcharm. He actually has the most frags in the lobby right now, and he's going to be on Gridlock. So we've seen quite a lot of Gridlock play. A lot of people said that Gridlock was not going to get played very often.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was going to be true, just because I felt like the utility had some use, especially with that air jab combo. I mean, the amount of roam denial there is unparalleled.
And she has good guns.
Oh, yes.
Especially the M249 with the scope on it.
Look, there's one argument that I always love to have, and I believe it to be true. I don't think that you should balance an operator by guns. I think that everyone should have a decent weapon. The fact that they go, oh, their utility's fantastic, but they have a terrible gun, that's not how you balance an operator.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you need to have at least a gun that is useful. Like the SMG-11, great spot. You know what I mean? It's right where it needs to be. Great weapon. You guys did fantastic. There's nobody in the game right now where I'm like, oh, that's just how it works. Slash. Speaking of things, how it works. Shotgun to the hell. Oh my God. Slash. Put him in a body bag, my friend, is Rogue right now. It's all up to Execration finally finding some room, as he will find Eclipse, but easily already dead for Rogue, and Execration trying to open things up as we're having a bit of a discussion about balances and everything else, but it's not going to matter. Only thing that's in balance right now is all these frags Execration trying to find. Is it the 2v2 now? Still have presence upstairs as Rudy will find him. He's still in rappel. Slasher's going to ask why he's there, but no matter what, it's going to be all left up to Verdon. He's going to lose the gunfight as well. Doesn't even know Execration's there. It's claimcharm all the way, baby, for round number 8.
Rogue getting incredibly aggressive at the end of the round after, to be fair, some very, very nice lineups to absolutely stunt the positions that claimcharm have. But the advantage for Rogue was deceitfully in their favor. A little bit too much, or at least they thought it was way further in their favor than it actually was. And as a result of that, ended up playing way too aggressively right into claimcharm's hand. And they do a great job of just holding back, turning that round back on its heels, and keeping themselves in the game now.
That looked like a 92 Dream Team round, honestly. It really did.
Because of the runouts? Or?
No, just because of the amount of kills that we had in the kill feed all at one time. Yeah. It's just the trade game. Rogue came out on top of the pile, but Execration, he hasn't been doing too well, frag-wise, so far in this game. But again, it all matters about rounds and what you can do in said rounds. He's able to essentially win an entire round off the back of his efforts downstairs. Granted, we did see Rudy claim a kill up top, but at the end of the day, really doesn't matter. If Rudy was rotated downstairs with Execration, they still would have been able to get Diffuser down and play the 2v1. So, either way, Rogue one step away here from reaching match point, and that's what they're going to try and claim in the basement after lobby did not work out too well.
So we'll see the usual reinforcements going into the upstairs bathroom there, or at least the first floor bathroom, so that Rogue can play into that a little bit. I think Shuttle put one of his mirrors on the inside of it too, so we'll see at least one player from Rogue try to use the reinforcements and the window in order to play the round out. Second one's going to go in a pretty usual spot here too, inside a small office downstairs, along with some soft walls to the side of it, so you can quickly kind of peek out to the right and go for an aggressive kill, as we expect those garage walls to get opened up relatively early in the round, unless the tricking from the defensive side is all successful.
As we are going to hear the telltale signs of that exothermic charge going off, and confirmed as the explosion is going to go through. A little bit too far away, X, to use your skeleton key to breach open that wall, but bullets will still work just as well. Going to establish an angle cross into Piano as panels 1 and 3 are selected by the offense of claimcharm. Drones coming out from them, and they're doing a lot better pacing-wise than Rogue was. Rogue, again, as we talked about before, pretty slow on their offensive sets, but claimcharm picking up the pace here as Execration is going to be able to identify out one man alone inside of Piano. It is going to be Eclipse on Mozzie. Uh-oh.
That's a good spot for vertical. He doesn't really have an angle. Oh, no, no. Double doors right here. Perfect. Execration is going to be able to take him out.
Just like the simulations, boys. Just like the simulation. All right, well, he's going to put Rogue back in the driver's seat once again. And like we talked about before, this is where Rogue shines. That play style that they're playing on offense, I think it works a lot better for them on defense. And so far, it's worked out pretty well for them. I mean, you don't really have to peek anything. Once you have the man advantage, you just more or less stay alive. But smokes are going to be down. Billboard's going to actually stick this plant. Some of those stingers going to actually stick into the feet, but it's going to be Billboard to go down. They do have Diffuser down. I don't know if they have the cross angle. They do still have 2 people outside. And actually, Eclipse is going to jump outside. He loses the eventual gunfight to Rudy, but he already took out Breezy. Diffuser will start getting taken down. His Slash is actually going to kill Rudy with a Nitro Cell?
Where was that even?
Where was that even?
That pre-placed?
No, he threw that outside from console.
We have to try and get that one. He definitely threw that one.
Like you have Kobe, and then and then you have Dukem Nukem, dude. Like just
yeet.
Yeah, yeah, yeet.
I think he just named it for us right there. That's what we're gonna call it from now on.
Yeet. All right, well.
The yeet out the window saves the round for Rogue.
Explosive finish, very, very well
Quite
placed.
literally.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you. As much as I've casted this game and played it, I've never seen someone blow someone up outside on that staircase with a C4 ever.
Well, you get something new every day right here at the USN.
Yeah, we truly do love it. We love it indeed. So, well, in true Rogue fashion, they're gonna battle back on a post plant situation. So. I mean,
just like par for the course for this map, so we just expect it at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. They are 1 round off from going on to face 92 Dream Team, and that's definitely where things are going to get weird, I would say, because as we've seen so far, Rogue doesn't seem to be in the same mindset as they were at land. Oh my God, Eclipse. How many gunfights are you getting into, my friend?
Oh my God, yeah, I just saw the assists.
He has 10 assists. He's literally touched everyone on that team, like just once. Either that or like he doesn't. Here's the thing: when you see someone have a lot of assists but also have a lot of deaths, you look at it and go, "Oh, okay, they're just losing their gunfights." That's what's happening, right? This man's 7, 10, and 4.
I would love, because I don't think cost takes assists into consideration, right?
That's a question for Spencer. That is not a question for me.
I don't think it does, because the acronym says it, there's no A in there.
Yeah. So. I just go, thank you, Spencer, for giving me those stats.
So I don't think it does. So what would be really interesting is if we had a stat for like kill participation.
Yes.
Where you like at least like assisted or something like that, because his stat would have to be like 80 or 90%.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Again, shout out to CGG. If you guys didn't know, CGG is the one helping us out with all those stats that get popped up at the bottom of your screen after the game is over when we select MVPs and things along those lines. So, again, shout out to those guys. Make sure you check out their website. They're fantastic. They help us out with a ton of stuff over on our end. Makes our lives a lot easier and makes our prep work a lot easier. So, as we will jump into maybe, possibly, the last round here between Rogue and claimcharm. So far, for an adolescent team as age-wise, I would say that claimcharm is doing pretty well, but again, we are going to have explosive end and then explosive beginning here for Rogue, as a vertical will be able to claim the life of Rudy. He's done pretty well so far on this Zofia, as he will actually meet a pretty short demise here. Pretty early demise, excuse me.
Easily going to get droned out of his position, so hopefully kind of awkwardly fall back into A since that wall's not breached properly. So he'll still have a safe position to play into. claimcharm are nowhere near the execute point yet, so this is still going to take quite a few seconds before they are in position. Got Eclipse still trying to play down long haul with Slash too, so Execration will have to be careful when he moves into the main hallway. It's not looking like claimcharm are playing too much into that hallway, however. What's going on?
Vertical still playing underneath his pulse. I thought they were going to send Breezy downstairs to try and take him out, but he's going to be able to read this entire push, and this is where Pulse is dangerous, extremely dangerous, because now Vertical gets to tell his entire team exactly where every single remaining member of claimcharm is at all times. It's the pulse margin is about 0.7 seconds. So every 0.7 seconds, you can be like, hey, this guy's still in office. Hey, this guy's in printer. Hey, this guy's vending. So on and so forth until sooner or later, everyone goes down. Aggressive play here from Bird. It's going to work out. Tries to claim yet another life. He's going to adopt a pistol whip as Billboard will go down. Easily takes out Schlongy. And it's going to be Rogue on a flawless round. Knocked down, but picked themselves back up again. It's going to be Rogue going to face 92 Dream Team here for our final match of Stage 2.
It's a little bit bumpy along the way for Rogue there, especially on their attacking side, but those low-timed executes. But I think that they clean things up very nicely in the second half, a very convincing defensive side for them to be able to take control against !claimcharm and win out this match. Slash, of course, with the highest performance in terms of fragging power, but still, you gotta look at Eclipse at 8, 11 assists, and 4. And wonder, yeah, just how many gunfights he was a part of, how many kills were stolen from his grasp.
Well, here's the thing. Usually when you look at that, you go, okay, you know, he's playing Legion, he's playing Smoke, something like that, you know, where people like, take a little bit of damage, back out, take a little bit of damage, back out. That wasn't the case. He's just shooting people, and then they're just dying to his friends. So, you know, it's I've never seen that amount of assists without somebody playing Legion. I'm just throwing that out there. I've never seen someone have 11 assists without playing Twitch or Legion where, you know, okay, I tased a guy because he found my Twitch drone, and I just get an assist because he died to somebody else, or something like that.
We need that kill participation stat.
Yeah. Spencer. Get on it.
Get on
please.
it.
But again, Rogue going to be moving on from claimcharm. So, key notions for Rogue, I would say, is pick up the pace, guys, just a little bit. Their executions were so much better in Vegas. I just want that Rogue back, man. I was so excited to see Rogue back in, you know, good form. But again, I feel like it was one step forward, 2 steps back. I feel like they might be second guessing themselves, or just maybe their play on land is just better.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because like they're not as well prepared for these matches as something they would be prepared for at like a minor or something like that as well. They may not be like as heads up on these matchups, considering the kind of, you know, the unknown nature of who you're going to be playing every single week too. So that might be playing a part of it. But you know, considering like reputationally speaking, how far ahead they are compared to most of their opponents on a week-to-week basis, you still think that shouldn't affect them that much. And it doesn't ultimately, right? They still always make it into this final matchup every single time. They were upset once back in the the conference finals, and they didn't manage to make it through there. But they're still by and large making it through this bracket, so that kind of justifies the not as serious play style I'm maybe seeing for them, or at least not a serious amount of prep that goes into these matches, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the one thing. Comparative to what they have been playing in, I mean, we have Raleigh coming up. We have a lot of stuff that's going to be in prep. So a lot of the stuff that you're going to be seeing from these top-end teams, not saying, that they're just trying to sandbag, but what they're trying to do is they don't want to show everything to try and make it to this land. There's a lot of very, very important things coming up that if you show, an end-all be-all strat of, hey, look at this, we just stomped this team 7-0 with everything that we can possibly do, other teams are going to go back and watch that VOD, and then you are in some trouble.
All right, well, we talked about the post-match a little bit. Stokes, I think it's time to pick our MVP. Who do you have lined up for this one?
Oh, man. It's got to be Eclipse, man. I mean, 11 assists, you're really doing it all. Top frag and 11 assists?
I'm going to go with that one as well, to be honest. Mainly just because I want to see some more enhanced stats from him and get a little bit of a deeper dive into what exactly we ended up with. But yeah, he's had like I said, he's still second overall for kills for the team, and then very quietly ended up with those 11 assists, really helping out his team to make sure that they were able to close out in those clean situations. So we'll give it to him for this matchup.
Yeah, I think it's time to knock on the door of Siege GG. And like, hey, can we possibly just get the most in-depth stats on how the hell that even happened? I would really appreciate it.
What do you got for Eclipse stats? Because we're all about that, What do you got in stock?
Give me the Eclipse. Give me the Eclipse stocks. Give me those.
Give me everything you got.
I was this right here, this clip. So very sad. If he just confirms that kill, one bullet, just shoot her in the head right there. and they win that round because he's not able to give that call out on exactly where Breezy is behind that wall.
I think the problem is because he gets those first 2 kills so quickly, I think he's assuming the third one is also relatively close by, and that's why he doesn't take the extra 2 seconds or so it would have taken to quickly pop the headshot off, because of the fact that, again, if he's distracted and he does get peeked during that, that's another very unfortunate way to lose that type of a situation. So you can't fault too much, I don't think, for losing that. But yeah, just some bad judgment ultimately at the end of the day that ended up costing him a round, and we would see that carry forth until Rogue would be able to close out. Eclipse, of course, we can see there as well, are still our MVP. Pick is mine as well. So we'll see if we can get his stats up on the screen in a few minutes here. I'm also still going to try and get that interview with a member of Rogue as well and talk to them a little bit about this matchup and the upcoming one that they're going to have against 92 Dream Team, which is going to be coming up, guys, in just a few minutes here. We're going to be getting into that right after we close out the discussion for this match and have our short break in between. It'll be one final best of one to decide who is going to be our first team in Stage 2 to move through to the respective conference finals. In this case, of course, the West Coast, our East Coast play is on Thursdays.
I will say one thing, though. If they don't have the puppy, I'm going to be very angry. You better hear me, Kevin. I'm just saying, if the puppy is not in shot, we're going to have problems.
That's the importance.
That is literally
all that really matters.
Dude,
right?
It's the cutest dog on the planet. I'm so serious. If you guys do not follow the Rogue Boys on Twitter, you need to do so, just for the puppy. You guys might not be fans of Rogue.
Mainly easily.
Yeah.
He's the one who posts pictures.
Yeah. Ella is the most adorable dog on the planet. And it's named after an operator, guys. Come on, it's so cute.
I think he started the trend with that. Didn't someone else on like Rise or something like that got a dog and named it after an operator or something?
I don't know.
I forget.
I feel like the name that everyone would just have like their dog or cat named before the operator even came out was Maverick. You know?
That's a very like pet name, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
it's like a fighter pilot's name.
Yeah, that and Ash. I feel like that's the two. You know?
I can't see Ash as much of a...
Really?
No,
I know quite a few animals named Ash.
Maybe a cat, not a dog, though. I wouldn't name a dog.
My aunt's cat's name was Ashes.
Right.
It works. Anyways, despite pet names and... I mean, there is no Aspen operator yet. We might have that one day. There you go. Anyways.
What country would Aspen be from?
Oh, man, I have no... Ireland? I don't know. Anyways, despite the fact, guys, we now have that ready so we can get some of our questions answered by a beautiful face on the other end of this Skype call. I don't know who it is just yet. Drum roll, please. It's Ranger, and we have the puppy. I love you, man.
It's
I
Ella.
love you.
It's Ella.
Yes, it's Ella. That's all that
Ranger's not
matters.
here, just Ella.
Yeah. That's the one who asked all the... Oh, she's got the cone on.
She's got the cone.
Oh, what happened? That's my first question.
No Ella puppies coming.
No Ella puppy. Oh.
Yeah.
I wanted one, man. Come on. What is that?
Unlucky.
Yeah, unlucky.
She's a one of a kind good luck charm for the team.
Yeah, nice chairs, man. I have one right here.
Oh yeah, the USN chairs. Yeah, I hear they're pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, dude, they're pretty comfortable. Let me tell you. Secret Labs, fantastic company. Anyways,
fantastic.
Despite that, I have a couple questions for you as usual, Rangers. So if we want to delve into those, I'm sure that you're ready as you usually are. So,
of course.
First things first, we just got done with the minor where we got to cast you a few times, got to see your guys' presence on stage, and you guys looked so crisp at LAN. Your guys' executes were very well thought out and quick. Today, you guys, I don't want to say you sandbagged, obviously, but you guys slowed things down and were more or less waiting for errors. Why the adjustment? Is that more or less just trying to feel out what the enemy team's doing, or what's your guys' thought process behind that?
Yeah, when you play kind of like unknown teams or teams that you don't have like prep on, or the teams that you think are going to be more aggressive, sometimes it's nice just to slow things down and just take your time, make sure you aren't having like hard breach or Thatcher or anything important getting picked early in rounds, and just kind of take your time. And so yeah, it means you're going to be executing later and on kind of some low time scenarios. As you saw, we had quite a few of those on our attacking rounds, but it's always good for practice for us to work on that kind of stuff. You know, like there are going to be situations where, you know, when we're in Pro League, teams are going to run some sort of detailed roam and we're going to be getting into the site super late.
Yeah, I for my next question actually, but I'll lead into it with this. I will say I really like the adaptation of Gridlock and Nomad. I think that was very well thought out from you guys about what you can possibly do with that. So leading into the next question about that, Gridlock and Nomad combo seems like it's extremely potent to stop any kind of roam game. What was the thoughts going in on that? And between the two operators, Mozzie and Gridlock, what are your thoughts on those two operators?
I think Mozzie's really strong. She's like a good kind of hybrid between, say, like Echo Valk, Echo Pulse kind of thing. And she brings like a lot of just like general flexible utility, or he brings a lot of flexible utility with the shotgun and C4 and stuff like that. And then Gridlock's kind of the same. Like I don't think she's super strong or anything like that. I think it's just kind of like a good flex operator. So if like you don't have something else to fill in the spot, in this case, like Lion got banned out on us, so we couldn't run that. So we just went ahead and we hadn't really practiced with gridlock or anything like that before. We just kind of threw it in and thought it would fill, mess around with it a little bit. Looking back, I think it's good, but it's not necessarily a must run or something like that.
I just realized, and this is for Blue and me. The reason he had so many assists is because he was playing gridlock. Because when they step on the tacks, when they step on the stingers, he gets the assist when they die. That's why he had so many assists.
Stop running into the stingers, I guess.
Forehead, right? just don't run into the stingers. Forehead, come on.
Tower's just collecting points.
Yeah, especially. I mean, 8, 11, and 4. I was like, this man isn't playing Legion. How does he have so many assists?
Yeah.
I just didn't have the mental fortitude, apparently, to think through that completely. But for your guys' defensive half, you guys kind of just let claimcharm sit and spin, which especially a lot of these players I know that you guys know, I mean, they've been around NA for an extremely long time, especially like Billboard and X have been around for longer than this game's basically been alive. They've been around the Rainbow Six scene. So when you go up against teams like this where, they are just a new stack, is there any sort of prep or idea that you have about it to try and, get them to trip up?
For the most part, we just kind of played it slow and played our game. I was mostly just focused on our stuff. We didn't really do anything crazy as far as preparing for them. We had an idea for kind of just playing a map that's comfortable for us, and that's about it.
All right. Well, I can tell by Kevin in the background that the vibes are pretty high, as he would say. And
vibes are always high.
The vibes are always high, man. The vibes are always high. So we will see you in the next round, my friend, and possibly another interview. 92 Dream Team should be pretty fun, and I'm sure you guys are going to have a lot of fun playing against a much more aggressive team.
Yeah, we'll talk again in an hour.
Okay, buddy. I like it, Ranger. We'll see you in a little bit.
Yeah, have a good one.
You got to respect confidence.
Let her out of that kennel. Get hell out of that kennel right now.
Dude, she's trying to Grisma on everybody. What do you mean?
You can't cage the queen.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
But great interview as always from Ranger there.
I love him, man. He's a great person. Look, there's not a single person inside of the Siege team where I'm like, I just hate that guy. You know what I mean? Everyone has their own little niche, and it's great. I love it. I love everybody inside of our scene, guys. They're fantastic, and especially with how recently I've gotten into this portion where a lot of the people that I looked up to I get to talk to now. It's fantastic. MVP of Slashrug, guys, what? Is that the MVP of the game? Is that what that is? Or is that your guys' MVP? Or do we... I blame production.
It's production's MVP. They stabbed us in the back. They picked their own.
CGG Spencer.
How could you?
You trollop? My gosh. All right.
I think you finally said a word I don't know the definition to.
I'll
you finally outbeat me.
I out-definitioned you. Yeah. I got to hit you with the dictionary for once. So, anyways, we'll pull that up later. But pretty fitting end to that game, I would say, that Rogue finally found a little bit of their footing, especially on their defensive side. I think Ranger really gave us a good insight into what their idea of playing against teams that they really don't have any prep on or any real VOD on what their idea of going into that is. And again, I think it works out for them. And a lot of the times Pro League teams use this as practice when it's a team that, they're not too worried about losing against. They're just like, okay, we can use this as practice for something we're not good at. We want to try and make this to where, oh man, I love CGG.
Stats over here.
Stats over there.
Stats
over
there. Hold on. I can't reach that far.
You gotta
there you go.
do this with it. Ooh, there it is.
Well, don't send them away. We're still looking at it.
Stats. Anyways, what I was gonna say is it's a good practice point. If you're bad at something, get some practice in it against a team that is fighting to win, and that's exactly what claimcharm was trying to do. Again, let's look over the Rogue stats real quick. So we'll try and weatherman this real quick. I'm probably going to be real bad at this. 43 kills. All right, my hand's going to go below the desk.
Yeah,
but
opening kills is what
we're going to want to talk about. 8 opening frags. And that's something we talked about a lot on their offensive side, is that they wouldn't get aggressive once they got those opening frags. But again, as we talked to Ranger about that, that's something that they wanted to do. They wanted to run down that timer as much as possible and then try and execute and see if they could do it. And... yeah.
3 times in a row they did.
Yeah.
At a minimum.
Do it. So I really think that's the tail of the tape of that match. What are your thoughts on it?
No, it's pretty much the same sentiment to me. And Ranger's interview did a really good job of explaining it. Like I said, I thought that there was issues with prep going into this matchup, just because of the fact you don't always know the teams. There is not really a whole lot of info on the teams sometimes. So as a result of that, they had to play slowly, and it worked most of the time, thankfully, even though it was very scary, especially on attacking side. And there was a few times, of course, where it failed just because of that unfamiliarity getting the best of them. But still, They came out on top, and now we have the matchup versus 92 Dream Team, and that's going to be coming up, guys, in just a couple minutes. So stick with us, and we're going to be coming back to you with that matchup in just about 10 minutes.